our hectic and noisy world, where permanent stimuli and distraction are omnipresent, many people long for a moment of silence and stillness. Silence offers us the opportunity to dive deep into ourselves and give space to our thoughts. It holds a special power that supports us in calming our minds, finding clarity, and unfolding our creativity. Silence enables us to hear our inner voice and content with our true being. As an all-in leadership guide, I am well aware of the principle of comprehensive living and therefore know the importance and significance of stillness. To go all in with it means to fully engage in the journey and to embrace silence as the nurturing, breathing ground of power and energy. It is a valuable experience that enriches us and can transform our lives. In the following, I will explain how we can discover and use the power of silence. To do this, let us take a closer look at silence and its occurrences. Let's start with the question, what is silence? It's more than just an absence of sound. It is a state of inner peace and deep tranquility. Silence is the absence of distraction and the ability to focus entirely on the present moment. It is a space where we can connect with our inner wisdom and our true self. Silence is a precious gift that allows us to quiet our minds, clear our thoughts, and unleash our creativity. It is a source of inspiration and a compass on our path to a fulfilled and conscious life. Now, how does silent thinking work? Silent thinking happens beyond words and inner dialogue. It is a state in which we do not let ourselves be carried away by thoughts, by observe them without losing ourselves in them. In silence, we can observe our thoughts like passing clouds without evaluating them or ascribing meaning to them. It is a state of pure awareness in which our mind is open to new insights and inspirations. What is meant by space of silence, the room of silence? The room or space of silence is an inner state in which we detach ourselves from external distraction and noises. We concentrate entirely on our inner being. It is a place beyond time and space, where we can connect with our own essence. In this space of silence, we find calm, clarity, and deep peace. It is the place where our thoughts come to rest and we can connect with our true self. What to do when the mind continues to think in silence? It is perfectly normal for the mind to continue thinking in silence. Our mind is used to being constantly active and producing thoughts. When the mind continues to think in stillness, it is important not to fight it or judge ourselves for it. Instead, we can gently shift our focus back to stillness by bringing our attention to our breath or a particular mantra. Over time, the mind will learn to quiet down and dwell in stillness. And how can we direct our mind into stillness? To direct our mind into stillness, we can use various techniques. One way is to focus on our breath. By breathing consequently and deeply, we direct our attention away from our thoughts and towards the present moment. Another method is to use a mantra or a positive affirmation. By repeating a repetitive phrase quietly within ourselves, we calm our mind and guide it into stillness. To practice meditation and attention can also help to lead our mind into stillness and dwell there. But the good question is, what do we learn from silence? It teaches us many valuable lessons, such as being patient and accept the moment as it is. It reminds us that we don't have to be constantly active to achieve something or to be valuable. In stillness, we learn to listen to ourselves and trust our inner compass. We realize that the answers we are looking for are already within us. Silence also enables us to connect more deeply with our people and with nature, because in this space of silence, we can meet each other on a deeper level. And why do we find silence so difficult? There are several reasons why people are uncomfortable with silence, or why we find it difficult to accept silence. But the first one is the fear of being alone. Silence often brings with it the feeling of being alone, and in our society we are constantly surrounded by people, noise, and activity. Silence can confront us with ourselves and confront us with our own thoughts, fear, doubts, or unresolved issues. The feeling of being alone can be uncomfortable, and therefore some people avoid silence. Uncertainty and the unknown is a second reason. Silence can also create a sense of insecurity, as we do not know what to expect when we enter into it. In silence, we have no external stimuli or distraction to distract us or give us security. The unknown can cause anxiety, and therefore some people deliberately avoid silence. And a third reason is being used to constant stimulation. In our modern society, we are used to constant stimulation and distraction, as we already mentioned before. We are surrounded by technology, entertainment, and noise. Silence can seem boring or uninteresting, as it does not provide us with the stimulation we are used to. The lack of external stimuli can cause discomfort and lead us as well to avoid silence. So the real question is now, how can we welcome silence into our lives? And here I'm going to give you some steps which will invite that. And the first one is to practice mindfulness. Through the practice of mindfulness, we can become more aware of silence by focusing on the present moment and observing our thoughts and emotion. We can learn to accept silence as a source of calm and peace. The second thing is to create rituals of silence, such as we can consequently integrate rituals of silence into our daily lives, such as meditation, yoga, or simply a few minutes of pause, breaks, and reflection. By practicing these rituals regularly, we give space and time for silence to unfold in our lives. And the third is to use the nature as as a resource, because nature offers a wonderful opportunity to experience stillness. By spending time in nature, we can disconnect from outside distraction and connect with the peace and beauty of our surroundings. Nature creates a space of stillness that can help us quiet our thoughts and enter a state of relaxation. And here's a good way to do that. Like, first of all, go for a walk. Take a little trip into the forest and sit by a quiet lake. Let the sound of nature affect you and observe the beauty of your surrounding. Nature has a calming effect on our minds and helps us to organize our thoughts and find new inspiration. And the first tip is that you keep a journal. Because writing is a powerful way to capture our quiet thoughts and spark our creativity. This works as following. By writing down and recording the thoughts, the ideas, and observation by writing it down by hand into a little notebook. And be careful, because write without judgment or self-criticism. Allow it to let the thoughts flow freely. This process allows you to explore your innermost thoughts and feelings and gain new insights about yourself. Journaling can become a valuable tool to harness the power of silence through and take your creativity to a new level. By the way, by welcoming silence into our lives, we can connect with ourselves, find inner peace, and gain new insights. Silence offers us a space of self-reflection and creativity that can help us live a more balanced and fulfilling life. It takes practice and patience to become comfortable with stillness, but the rewards are worth it. Tip: I, myself, amongst others, experienced the transformational power of silence in a great way while walking the way of St. James, 222 kilometers in the very hot summer of 2019. On this spiritual pilgrimage journey, where I walked all in, I truly found space for silence and stillness to connect with my innermost thoughts. During that journey, I created my photo diary book called The Magic of the Way of St. James, which combines 52 photos, which I have been taken of while I was going on St. James, with lyrical text and wisdom. These texts were written in the quiet moments of my pilgrimage. In order to make this book, with its insights, accessible to many readers, the texts were substantially edited in the book in 5 languages, such as German, Italian, Spanish, French, and English, and those made accessible to a wide readership. I would say that the magic of the Way of St. James, that particular book, is a testimony to how silence can liberate thoughts and give rise to creativity. It is a reminder that we can find answers in silence, and that our thoughts and ideas have immense power if we give them space. By exploring silence, thoughts, and connecting with our inner creativity, we can get to know ourselves in a profound way and discover our own magic. In a world often dominated by noise and distraction, recognizing and harnessing the power of silence is invaluable. By constantly creating moments of silence, connecting with nature, and journaling our thoughts, we can unleash our power of silence through thoughts in our lives. Therefore, allow yourself to immerse yourself in stillness. Go all in with it and discover the wonderful, great gifts that silence has in store for you.